Welcome back to Pinecrest Park. It seems from the studies from our staff that the breakfast and northern mammals are completely fine with their habitat. Now, as I said last time, we might move them in place where they are now with a different dinosaur. Now, also, we don't have names for these creatures. So if you like to name one of these animals, let us down in the comments. Now, without further ado, let me show you the first ever section in this park. Without further ado, welcome to Redwood Ridge, where we'll put a bunch of basic dinosaurs that people know that live in woodlands. Now, the first dinosaur is the Ankylosaurus from the late Cretaceous period that lived in West and North America, which is also an ankylosaurid. Now, we can see that it needs pasture, wetlands, cover, water, ground leaf, and ground food. Now, we're not going to worry about gravitation, so let's get started. We first put in the pathing. So we do a little creative pathing to give more life to the section and all the enclosures around it. So we decided to do a little bit more curving around the place. And then we also put straight paths and more curvy paths to give it more of like a unique habitat. And we also put it in the viewing galleries so I guess you can see the dinosaurs. Then we placed the fencing. We did high level fencing since Ankylosaurus is very dangerous with its cut hair and armor, and since it's a medium-sized dinosaur, it needs a giant fencing. We also put invisible fencing around the barriers so it could be more realistic and the dinosaurs aren't being as caged out as they would be. Let's put rocks on the end of the enclosure to give more realistic thing where it's like a cliff then that dinosaurs can't get out. We thought it was a nice touch and uniqueness from the other enclosures. And we put in flat, giant, and small rocks to give more variety of rocks around this little hill. Then we also put water at the bottom of it to give more life, like. And then we put in plants around the road that's nearest to the water to also give more life to the enclosure to feel more at home with the Ankylosaurus. Then we put in the wetlands needs, which we didn't put that much since it was one of the low ones that it needed. Then we put in pastures around it to make it more feel like it's their home, which we felt was neat. And then we put in their plants. Then we put in plants around between the pathing and the fencing to give more realism, like the plants are coming out of the enclosure into the pathing. And then during construction, our longs had a fight. They were having a fight between who would be the mate of guacamole, and they decided on who it would be. So this one won, and then now the alpha and going to be the mate for guacamole. Then we went back to construction and put fences in between the plant, in front of the plants, and the fencing, so we don't have a lawsuit. Because we're not getting injured and we don't get getting eaten. So we put it around the path, and the curves, straight lines, everything. And yes, we did take this from when we did with the Brachiosauruses and with the T-Rex skeleton statue. It's all to prevent from trouble happening, because we all know that some idiot will eventually come up trying to pet the dinosaur and then get eaten or electrocuted or just death happens. It's just to prevent anything bad from happening. They will fall and get into bankruptcy. Then we put the nest in the Allosaurus. And that is the complete enclosure. Now we have to transport the dinosaurs into the enclosure so we can see if it's good enough for them or we need to make a couple of changes. So now let's incubate them.
Asset transportation in progress.
Now the Ankylosaurus couple is in the enclosure and they seem to be very happy with their enclosure. Seems like it meets all their needs. Now, once we actually open the park, we actually will start a conversation area where we will raise baby dinosaurs for the first time in InGen, since InGen just made dinosaurs scientifically and not naturally. So I hope y'all enjoy this enclosure making. I'll see y'all next time.